Big Rab Show Podcast is kindly sponsored by G1 Reeds. They are the champion's choice, with many bands around the world playing G1 products, providing everything you'd need to hit the circle or the big stage. So, check out g1reeds.com as they keep the lights on here at the Big Rab Show Podcast. Hello there, and welcome to another Big Rab Show Podcast. Can you hear it behind me? A little cheeky bit of Scottish power to start us off in a very early morning here, actually. It is just gone 20 past 8 in the morning, and Scottish power are already having a bit of a blow behind me. But let's get into this week's episode good and proper. This is our World Championship on the ground report from day one. Yes, this is the Friday with the all new format and stuff, and we'll talk about that, of course. But let's get through our introductions though, first of all, as I'm standing right beside Scottish Power. Yeah, if this is your first ever Big Rab Show podcast, then you are welcome. We are the show for the bagpiping folk. We reflect everything in the bagpiping world, be it Celtic music, folk music, or indeed our bread and butter, competitive piping and drumming. Each and every week we're here talking about what we know and love to be the music of the great Highland bagpipe and its people. And you might have guessed, this is a special episode this week. So we don't have any listener mail, we don't have any weekly drone, but you can send it in, of course, and we will bring that to a future episode of the show. Our email address, bigrabshow@gmail.com, and our weekly drone. Go to the website, thebigrabshow.com, big button at the top of the page. I'm getting distracted. Doesn't that sound good, doesn't it? Yeah, they're a wee distance away from me now, but that sound is carrying up the hill. It's lovely, isn't it? Right, World Championships Day 1. Let's talk about the conditions first of all. Obviously, a topic for discussion at every World Championships is the weather. What are bands going to have to contend with? Well, it's actually quite sunny this morning, very pleasant, actually quite warm as well, which is really unusual. Memories of, I think it was 2022, maybe 23, where it was an absolute scorcher, so hopefully that won't happen. But really quite warm, quite pleasant, and hopefully should be a good day for setting sound. And the challenges that comes with playing in the sunshine, however, bands may not want to overblow today and get over that mountain and then not being able to recover. So there'll be a lot of gamesmanship, I think, today. But there's Scottish Power already warming up in the sunshine here on the hill. Lovely. There you go. Alright, let's talk about the new format for the Friday. Today, of course, sees the introduction of the World Youth Championships, as they've called it. Where we have 2 additional arenas today that are running, having our novice juvenile grades. Novice A, Novice B, and of course our juvenile grade as well. Now there's been some kind of rumours, discussion, all of that, talking about what's going to happen in the afternoon and the evening. Are they going to have their own march past, their own prize giving, all of that kind of stuff? Remains a bit of a mystery. We don't know how that's all going to work. So, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. But with our novice bands going to be in action here on top of the hill, then down the hill at the Grade 1 arena, that's where everything happens. So, of course, one of the things I really wanted to mention, and I mentioned it on a live stream that I done there on Facebook just a few seconds ago, but in reality for you, maybe a week later, the amount of fraudulent links to live streams online, this has become a real problem. We've been contacted by a number of people who actually did click on these dodgy links and sign up with usernames, passwords, addresses, telephone numbers, and unfortunately in some cases they give over their bank details or their credit card information. And a number of people have lost quite significant sums of money. And now there's very little that the association here, I believe, can do about that, or even the companies themselves that are presenting the live streams completely for free. That is a real issue. Piping Live have also struggled with it this year as well, noticing quite a number, again, of dodgy links where, they promise you the world. Oh, click on this and you can watch the live stream of Piping Live. And yeah, unfortunately, people do end up giving over their credit card information, and away goes their money. So our advice all along is, again, please do stick to the official outlets. Ourselves and the Big Rab Show team, we do our best to kind of publish those official links, and yeah, we try and advise people where possible. Is this the right link? Is this the right place to go? Yeah, we've told a number of people, please don't click on that. I think one of the things is that they look legitimate is the problem. You know, they have all the right branding. They even have photographs of bands or pipers on them, and you know, you look, that looks legit, and you'll click on it, and then before you know it, you're in all sorts of trouble. What's flying over it? Whoa, there's a giant EasyJet flying over my head. Awesome. Well, the action from today's World Championships obviously will be focused on Grade 1, where the Glasgow Life Company will be live streaming the entire thing on their YouTube channel for free. And I believe you can actually go back and watch it again. That will remain up there for prosperity, where you can go and watch the entire thing from start to end. Now, at the very beginning of the day, I landed here quite early. Must have been shortly after 7 a.m. Of course, it was me and the fellas with yellow coats on. And we were standing looking at each other, and they were incredibly strict with not opening that gate. Now, there was a number of Grade 1 bands all standing around, and it was great to hang out with them, but absolutely they were refused any entry into the park. But we're competing today. We want to get in and get set up and get settled and maybe have a coffee or something before we play, and they're like, no, not getting in. Very strict. So, as you can imagine, quite a few angry people. Well, they were kind of bemused more than anything else. They were confused, wondering why. Anyway, we were all led into the park, and we're here. What seems to be quite a popular spot, actually, is under the trees. Obviously, with the sunshine, people wanting to avoid the direct sunlight for sound. So, yeah, under the trees is going to be a popular spot. So, you guessed it. The on-the-ground report will involve me walking around, discovering things, and oh, what's that? Oh, that's a bit of Inverary. They're having a little blow on the hill as well. There you go. Alright, time for me to have a walk around, see what I can see, and I'll bring you guys along for the journey. I'll be right back after this. Right, folks, I want to tell you about a brilliant new app called MusoLink. It's from Matt Fraser, yeah, the same guy behind the B-flat tuner. And it's all about helping you track your music practice smarter. You can record your sessions using AI, add notes, get reports, and keep yourself accountable. But what really makes it stand out is the social side. It's like Strava for pipers. You can follow your mates, give them kudos, leave comments, and stay motivated together. Loads of bands are already on board, including Scots College, Hawthorne, and loads of others who are making big moves. So, if you're prepping for this year's World Championships or just want to get better, search for MusoLink on the App Store now. And once you're there, why not give the Big Rab Show a follow, and we can push each other over the line. Ready to take your playing to the next level? Say hello to the ES Session Chanter, the ultimate practice chanter designed for versatility and durability. Crafted from stainless steel and aluminium, the chanter comes equipped for both an A stem and a B-flat stem, giving you the freedom to play along with any instrument, anytime, anywhere. Whether at a band practice or a trad session, the ES Session Chanter keeps pace with your creativity. Included with the chanter is the custom carbon carry case, the perfect addition to this compact and tactile instrument. To get yours, head to essessionchanter.co.uk. Well, who did I happen to bump into here in an early morning Glasgow Green? Introduce yourself, sir.
Hello there, it's Cameron Morrison from the Manawatu Scottish.
Hi Cameron, you've had a little bit to travel. I know you're playing with Manawatu, but you're a bit further than most, I guess, to travel, yeah.
Not as far as the band, but further than most. A couple of 1,000 miles in from Dubai, from the heat of the desert to the Glasgow heat.
It has been quite warm here, actually. That big yellow thing followed you.
Yeah. Literally brought the sunshine over.
There you go. So, are you looking forward to playing with Manawatu this weekend? How are things?
I'm buzzing. The band's buzzing. The weather's been good. The preparation's been good. Had a great week in Glasgow, outdoors every day. We also got Perth, which was great. We're all up for it.
That's it. But I believe you have a family member who had the cheek and the audacity to organise a wedding at World's Weekend. What's that about?
It's very bittersweet. My twin brother gets married tomorrow. I'm the best man, so...
Oh no!
I'm going to play today and say see you later and wish everyone all the best.
Oh, well, full congratulations, of course, but World's Weekend?
I know. I've heard it all before, mate.
Crazy, yeah. But anyway, we're really excited to see the band obviously celebrating 100 years in operation. It's a big year for Manawatu.
Yeah, it's a really big year. Obviously had good success out at the Nationals. We've had decent results at Perth. I'm just hoping to make some good music today and get a good confident performance out in the park.
There you go. Well, of course, folk might remember you from a previous episode where we were chatting away about your antics in Dubai.
Yeah.
So from, as you say, the blazing sunshine to Glasgow, but this is where it's at, mate, isn't it?
This is exactly where it's at, and it's a strange thing. You go from Dubai in 50 degrees to Glasgow, then you get burnt here.
Yeah.
It's like, who would call it?
That's strange, but here, we'll wish you the best of luck. Have a good tune. There'll be a lot of people cheering for you today, I'm sure.
Cheers, Rab. All the best.
Thanks. I think all your mates are watching you.
No pressure. I know.
Well, who am I standing with?
Sky, I play in shots.
How you doing, Sky? Well, I've got some real hard-hitting tenor drumming questions I need to ask you.
Very important.
How much work goes into the nails? This seems to be a thing for tenor drummers.
Well, it is quite a big deal to us. It's also great if you get them to match your sticks.
I see. And have you got that? Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Very nice. And then, of course, obviously, as spotted just earlier, you were putting hair cream or sun cream in your hair.
Yeah, and obviously, if you've got your pleats in and your scalp suit, you're not wanting to burn it.
But in all seriousness though, how did you find the concert? Was it a good lot of fun?
Oh yeah, obviously it was quite stressful in the lead up to it, but such a good payoff. It was actually one of the highlights.
For sure.
Yeah.
But now all to do again here in Glasgow Green. Are you looking forward to going in there?
Yeah, definitely for sure. Friday's always a bit of a funny one at the Worlds, but definitely excited. Yeah, looking forward to it.
There you go. And you've got your mates like taking the mick out of you here, Sky. That's not right.
No, it's not. It's throwing me off, but that's all right.
Well, here, enjoy yourself anyway.
Right, thanks so much. Thanks, Dad.
Okay, so I'm walking in and around under the trees here. Let's get a little listen to who I can hear around me. There's Manawatu Scottish, having a bit of a blow under the trees. The drummers are to my left. Who is this to my right? The Inverary. They're still having a little blow here after the break. So let's get a little listen to Inverary then, shall we? And they stop. Why does that keep happening? Yeah, as soon as I dandered over, they stop. But hi, there you go. They have been blowing for some time, though, in the direct sunshine. So yeah, Stuart said that's enough. All right, let's get a little walk over away from where Inverary are. They're having a bit of a team talk now. I've discovered the drum corps of Police Scotland Fife. Excellent. Let's get a little listen to what they're up to. go. Sounding quite well there, I think. Just tuning tenors and stuff as you go. Very nice. But it is still very early, so you might have heard some offbeats in the tenors. That's what was going on. They were tuning tenor drums as I was standing there recording. Just in case you were wondering, oh, hold on, that doesn't sound right. But yeah, they're tuning tenors. Alright, further up the hill, ooh, with Kloss Kelt. Alright, having a little tune in the sunshine. Let's get a listen. Wow. Not bad. Again, I know we are sponsored by G1 Reeds, the champion's choice, but you can't deny that big Chesney sound right there. There you go. Fair play to Kloss Kelt. That's sounding really good here in the sunshine. Do you know what I'm finding? Not much work actually happening. Just a little bit of drone tuning and stuff. You know, there's no frantic work with chanters and stuff. Everyone's quite relaxed by the looks of it. So, hey, I'm getting waved at with the shots, guys. Let's go down and have a chat with them. Well, I did get cooks down the hill. They were waving at me, saying, hey, come on down. Well, I did, and I went down and had a chat, but it's very much game day for shots today. No one really wanted to talk on the mic, which, honestly, I completely understand. It's a day of high pressure, and yeah, there's a lot to consider when you think of the amount of playing that they have to do over the course of the next 2 days. And right now, they're just sort of starting around. Yeah, getting the pipes acclimatized, but not much blowing actually happening. Yeah, just chilling out, really, and enjoying the morning. And but yeah, game day. And a lot of them not really wanting to talk to me in the podcast. And I can understand that completely. You know, who wants to talk to a silly podcaster when you really have to have your game face on? Yeah. So they might hopefully have a tune here in a minute or two, but that was the conversation that we had, is that today's game day, and yeah, we might be here, but there'll not be a terrible amount of blowing in the morning because it is so warm. Yeah, unseasonally so. So, there you go. Shout out to the Pipers. Game faces. Alright. See David and the guys here at the Shots Drum Corps are just down the hill, so let's get a listen to the Shots drummers then, shall we? That's pretty cool. So just as I'm standing listening to the drummers, the pipers have struck up. Let's get a listen to what the pipe corps are up to now here on the hill. yeah, everything's working as it should. Sounding really strong at this point in the morning. That's not an easy task. Like, it is still quite early. Like, at this point, it's only 10 to 9 in the morning. Action hasn't really started. Yeah, there's not much to do there. Emma just basically told the guys, that's it. No need to blow anymore. Just leave it there. Right now, I can see that's Manawatu's drum corps in the final tuning area. There you go. Just having a little tune up now in the final tuning area. Now, for all intents and purposes, people have asked us for footage from the final tuning area, but unfortunately, ourselves and the Big Rab Show are not allowed to. Yeah, because that entire area is all under BBC contract. We are not allowed anywhere near it, so yeah, it's a thing. But we can certainly catch bands outside of final tuning, and that's exactly what we'll be doing. But let's have a little cheeky walk over, see if I can get a note or two on the air from Manawatu. I see Rhythm Monster there filming the drum corps. There you are, so shout out to Rhythm Monster. Let's get a listen to Manawatu's pipe corps. There you have it. But a Manawatu tuning up there in the sunshine. If anything, yeah, I think where the final tuning area is right in the sunshine. You know, there's no hiding in there. So what I'm finding, some bands are tuning up under the trees and then they go into final tuning. And sometimes they find that pitch would just suddenly rise very quickly. So yeah, but that sounded really steady there. I don't think Manawatu didn't tune under the trees. They chose to tune up in final tune. So there you go. Class Celt just behind me, having a tune. There you go. Yeah, so I don't know, it's going to be a strange day outside the circle, I think. As we mentioned, gamesmanship will be a big issue today. Making sure just to keep that tone just at the right level. Not blowing too much, but then again, not also blowing too little. It's a very fine balance. From what I can see, the shots guys are all standing now with their backs towards the sun and just having a chat. And that's the nature of the game. You don't want to take it too far. There is always that risk that you could blow over the top of the hill, as they say, and then you can't come back. Yeah. Alright, well, I hope these on-the-ground reports kind of give you a little bit of a flavour of what it's like to actually be here. I know a lot of people who really enjoy these episodes of me just walking around and discovering things, so that's exactly what I'll be doing with this week's episode. Yeah. Alright, let's have a walk and see who else I can see. Okay, I decided to take a little walk up the hill. You know, I spent a bit of time under the trees there, final tuning in grade 1. I come up down to the height, and who did I find? St. Thomas. Let's get a listen to them here, having a warm up in the sunshine. There you go. And that's just, literally, I think that's the first tune. What? Wow. Okay. Yeah, not much work needed there at all, really. I think that was literally just pipes out of the box there in that case. Wow. Alright, so from the St. Thomas folks, whew, I don't quite know what to say after that. Right, this is going to be another one of those podcasts where I keep getting slapped in the teeth with tone, and it might not have come across on the pod, but yeah, St. Thomas with a big sound there. That was really good. Do you know what I'm finding as well? Now, this might be controversial to say, but I have noticed a number of pipe bands actually have like a social media crew with them. Yeah, they have people with cameras and mics and yeah, like a proper big production companies in some cases. Now, there was a guy there from St. Thomas with a massive camera. Like, you're talking a camera that I would really like for a Rab Show. But yeah, he was filming the St. Thomas guys, so I am hoping to see some of that footage somewhere online. There you go. So I don't know if this is a new thing, you know, being 2025, that bands have to have production companies now. But it's an interesting element for sure. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to have another listen to St. Thomas and get another, because they've just struck up again. All right, let's point a mic at them again. That was good. Yeah, all they're really doing there is just a little tweak here and there on the drones. Nothing else required. No, there's no frantic running around. We need to get some more tape on that D. We need to move that F a little. No, there's nothing like that. Everything, I don't know, just so relaxed. Big sound. Wow. St. Thomas, what a start to the morning right there. Holy smokes. Okay. Now, as you can hear around me, the volume level is rising, and yeah, more bands are starting to strike up. Just beside me here, People's Ford, Boghall and Basket, just having a little blow, not really having any tunes as such, but just getting the air moving through the drones. And should I go back down again into under the trees? Alright, I think I will. You know, I'm here to work. Let's make a podcast. Let's get a listen here under the trees. You know, rather than cutting the audio, I'm just going to take you with me on this walk. You get an idea of what it's like to walk through the park. Okay. Okay, that didn't take me too long getting down the hill. What have we got? Oh, we've got Fife. Alright, let's get a little listen to what Fife are up to here. How you doing? Go Bills! Yeah, go Bills is right, yeah. So, as it turns out, for the time being, Fife are literally just moving air. Yeah, and I think that's a lot of bands around me are just doing that right now. Just moving air through. That's part of the process, isn't it? So, yeah, I'll hang around to see if I can get a tune or two from the mighty Fife here before I head up the hill again. Holy smokes. Yeah, that was Police Scotland Fife there. And, well, okay, again, I'm lost for words. Like, how early in the morning is that? Come on, you have no business sounding like that at this time. Oh my word. And you know, it is actually getting quite packed down here. Like, shots were right behind them. I'm sure you heard the drum corps there. And Fife drum corps was also working away there too. Let's get in under the trees. Oh, I actually spot St. Lawrence O'Toole, actually. Let's see if I can get a note from St. Lawrence, who are tuning in under the trees, not in the sunshine. So who did I bump into? But Bob Worrell. Bob, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
You had me properly fooled at the Shots concert. Whenever you were talking about Rob Matheson not being there, I was going, oh, that would have been great if he was here. What a surprise.
Sometimes you just have to tell a little lie.
Yeah. Oh, you had me properly fooled. And then you had the video footage of him playing at home. I thought, oh, he sent a wee video in. That's something.
Yeah.
But what a moment, Bob.
No, it was great. It was historic. The all-female number, historic. And
wasn't it? That was a huge moment.
Yeah. Jackie coming out to help introduce it. That was such a treat.
Oh, that was fantastic. So what was it like actually being up on the stage and looking out at all of that?
It's pretty emotional, you know, just a sold-out audience, a very, very engaged audience, and there's so much variety to the concert and a lot of emotion, and just, you know, something like a simple number where the singing of Lochenside and that you know, that just put the hair up in the back of my neck.
Oh, there was a few people definitely had tears in my row, for sure. It was definitely a big moment. So, well, for those folks who were at the concert, you experienced something special, for sure.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you're quite a busy man, though, over the course of this weekend. Are you looking forward to the live stream?
Yeah, the live stream tomorrow. Well, it's good to be here today, so we see what they play.
Yeah.
And, of course, it's the four-parters today, and then whatever, MSR tomorrow, but to see what they're going to play, and then I can prepare accordingly tonight, and the same with the medleys.
Yeah. And are you aware of the amount of watch parties and that happening internationally, all tuning in?
Yeah, there are lots of watch parties. In fact, there's a group in Maryland, and I'll just get one for you out of my backpack here.
Sure, yeah.
They've kind of formalized the drinking game with a QR code.
A QR code? Whoa! Okay, I'm holding a business card. It says the Bob Worrell drinking game. Take a sip if Bob says subtle voicing from the tenors. Okay. In the zone. Oh no, that's a common one.
Yeah.
The idiom. Blowing issues. Oh, I have plenty of those myself. Yeah. Join us for a watch party. The Mac Watch 2025. Oh Bob, that's brilliant. But does that ever make you nervous trying not to say these things?
They were quite concerned I might be offended by this, and I said, oh, no, not at all. Not at all.
That's a bit of harmless fun, but please do drink responsibly.
Yeah, responsibly, that's the word.
But that's brilliant, though. But heck, I wish you every success with the live stream.
Okay.
You're incredibly busy. I only think I'm busy. But yeah, you've got way more on your hands.
You can just float around and have a good day.
That's it, indeed, yeah. Well, thanks a million for catching up with me, Bob. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Enjoy your weekend.
Okay.
All the best. There you go, randomly bumping into Bob Worrell as I'm heading in under the trees. And during our conversation, St. Lawrence O'Toole put the pipes down. See what happens. Right, I'll catch St. Lawrence O'Toole another time. That was fun catching up with Bob, though. There we go. Alright, let's have another little walk in through this massive crowd. Alright, Fife have gathered a massive audience now. Oh boy, it's like 5 people deep. Alright, let's see if I can beat my way through the crowd here. Oh, and Shots are having a tune on the hill. Alright. If anything, Bob is headed straight over there too. He wants to get a listen. Alright, let's get a listen to Shots down here. Just on the hill here. Oh, that's Fife Police behind me. Let's see if I can get any shots here for you. It's really quite a big crowd. Let's see what I can do. There you go. Yeah, wee cheeky straspay in the sun. There you go. But yeah, again, opting not to blow too much. I think the tone is definitely there. And Emmett, very quick to say, right guys, pipes down. It's there. How you doing? Alright, so if you wonder why I keep saying how you doing and hello to people, is everyone's being dead friendly and saying hi. It's lovely. Yeah. But right, there's a massive crowd around shots. I'm not going to get another tune from them. There's way too many people. Oh, Scottish Power. Let's get a listen to what Chris Armstrong and the guys are doing here. Again, folks, I want to stress that's them out of the box. Come on. I think that's the first tune I've heard from Power here on the hill. Wow, blowing a big sound there. Holy smokes. I'm going to be saying that a lot, but cheapers. Okay, sometimes I don't think, the recordings do it justice. And a lot of people have said that to me, is, Rab, these walk-arounds are no good because you're not getting the impact of it. And I suppose my power of or control of the English language, I can't actually find the words to describe what I'm listening to. But yeah, impact is what I want to say there for Power. Yikes. So right, again, the social media people seem to be in force, not with Scottish Power, but I have noticed it with other bands, and there's quite a number of film crew, I would argue, who are running around. Now, whether the bands have actually hired them or just what is going on, but they do seem to be focused on their own individual bands. I don't know, is this a possible future topic of the week right there? Do bands have to have their own film crew following them? Or perhaps is there documentaries being made? That's possible. You never know. I'm going to see if I can get some of these film crew guys and have a chat with them, find out what they're doing, just because I'm nosy. Alright, let's get a tune from Shots. Wow. Okay. That was just a chance encounter there. I was not expecting to hear a note from Shots, but there you go. Alright, let's have another further walk to see who else I can hear. Okay, at this point of me walking around trying to catch people, and as soon as I walk over they stop playing, we need to talk about the Shots concert. Soulless. You talk about a moment. Wow. Now, I know I kind of summarize a lot of the pre-Worlds concerts with that word of wow, but they are definitely stamps in time. Like, I'm sure everybody can remember when St. Lawrence O'Toole done their Tours Call Resume, or even, Simon Fraser with their Generations show. Everybody remembers these big moments at the concert hall. And, notably, Bog Hall last year in Caberfy, with Inverary with A Night on That Land. Well, I think this one from Shots, Solace, has definitely put their stamp in time. Filled with some really amazing music and some big moments there that we mentioned. The 7%, where they had a gathering of all of the female players in Grade 1, all gathered together, all female pipers, and they all played an amazing set, which honestly was just a huge moment. And then, numbers like the well-known song Locking Sides, and with lyrics to it. It was just amazing. What a moment. And the whole show was filled with moments. And what we were talking about there, the Rab Matheson tribute, that was a big moment in the show, where the band Shots looked back at their legacy, and of course Rab Matheson and all of his incredible tunes that he composed over the years. And they paid tribute to the legend, played a lot of his music, and what an amazing moment to have the man on stage himself joining them. A big moment I'm sure we'll be talking about for a while. So if you do have any thoughts, of course, on the Solace concert and you were there, let us know. bigrabshow@gmail.com. Alright, let's walk on, see who else I can get. Alright, let's get a little listen to Bog Hall Drum Corps here warming up here under the trees. Well, as Bog Hall, oh my word, that drum corps can play. Well, just in under the band tent, actually, the gazebo here, I can see the 78th Fraser Highlanders having a little run on chanters. Yeah, so all the chanters are being thrown back in the case again, and pipes out of the box now. So yeah, it's good to see even Grade 1 big guns still having that little run on practice chanter. You know, it does really help get the hands moving. Yeah. Especially on a day like today where it is quite warm, you don't really need to be blowing much. So a bit of a run on the chanter does no harm. So I'll maybe hang around to see if I can get some notes on the air from the 78th. And who's this behind me? Oh, that's Fife. There you are. So yeah, as I was talking about big moments about the Solace concert, I had a number of people actually who overheard me recording it, and they came over and said, "Rab, you're right, man, what a show." But yeah, I don't know, like Bob said, it was emotional. It was quite an emotional show, and that definitely rang through whenever the big finale came and the whole band were just singing together. and the audience sang with them. It was quite a cool moment. Normally we're well used to, let's finish with some hornpipes and jigs, that kind of thing. But yeah, Shots shook it up a little, and yeah, it was such an interesting finish to the show, and very enjoyable one, absolutely. Alright, enough talking about the Solus concert. Time to get some more work done. Well, at this point in proceedings, we've already had a number of Grade 1 bands in the circle already. And I'm sure you folks actually watching at home will probably have seen a lot more action than I would have seen here outside the circle. At the point of me recording this, Manawatu have played, Shots are on right now as I'm talking to you, and in the final tuning actually is Scottish Power, so it's all happening, all within the space of a quick 20 minutes. All the bands are just filing through, one after the other. So I believe Inverary are down here, practicing in the sun. Oh, not really practicing, they're just sort of standing, similar to what Shots were doing earlier. Yeah, there's not much blowing happening, there's not much actual playing. Let me see if I can get a note or two from Scottish Power, who are in final tuning right now. Let's see if I can get a note from them. Absolutely not. The crowd is way too thick in there. That's nuts. You're not going to get in there. Alright, that's one thing I've found, is that the cheap seats, absolutely packed. So I'm sure you might have seen it on the camera as well. Like down here in final tuning, there are about 5 or 6 people deep. And then there's a big blank space with nobody, which is the walk up to the arena. And then at the arena itself, again, I don't know how many people deep that's over there. That's just a... wow. Okay. Alright, Scottish Power have just fired up again. Let's see if I can be cheeky here. I'm being cheeky. I'm going to point my microphone over the fence and see what I can get from Scottish Power. Yeah. See, there's quite a bit of drone tuning happening right there. There you go. I don't know why though, but yeah, there's like a team of maybe 2 or 3 people all floating about frantically retuning drones there. But I think where the final tuning area is actually is right in the path of the sun. Yeah, so that could be what's happening. Bands on occasion are tuning in the shade and then having to tweak things in final tuning. Drones are set. Chris brings the run to a close. A couple of wee last minute tweaks. A bit of it. Yeah, that guy's having his tenor moved a little bit. There you go. This is where all the action is, honestly. I know whenever you folks watch the live stream at home, you don't get this, but this is where all the action is. How you doing? Just saying hello to people. Yeah. It's all this last minute frantic tuning and you need to move that a little bit, but yeah, not much of that other than little drone tweaks there from Scottish Power. Ooh, Fife Polis are having a bit of a tune with their drum corps. Let's see if I can get a note from them. That's fantastic. Do you know what? I love mixed drums. The drumming. I'm sort of lost for words. I'm tongue-tied. The drumming there was so complimentary of the music there. That was amazing. Wow. Okay. It's going to be another one of those podcasts where I just spend my time going, wow. Fife Police Boy, what a tune. So that's them having a little bit of a blow here in the sunshine before they head into final tuning. And just as I'm standing here, Scottish Power striking an introduction, heading to the line. Best of luck to you, Power. So who's behind me? We've got Klaus Kelt behind me with the drum corps. Alright, let's get a little listen to them. And they call it a halt there. Wow. See, I don't know if these recordings do it justice, but there's a big sound there from Klaus Kelt. Wow. Okay, and I can see Fife Police are away into the final tuning. Although I don't think they've got much work to do. They've already got a mighty big sound happening. And yeah, that drum corps, man. Oh, I was really impressed there. What a run. Okay. Let's get another little look around. Inverary bagpipers are standing round. I got talking to a number of them actually who have been, saying they've been having quite an enjoyable week. Obviously with their 20th anniversary ball dinner at the start of the week, which I believe was a total success, a black tie affair where everyone was dressed in their finery. But yeah, good evening by all. And of course, yeah, we had John Dew from Inverary joining us at the Big Rab Show live at Piping Live. So yeah, for those of you who've seen John playing tunes, you were in for an absolute treat right there. So yeah, Inverary's going to be a big weekend for them, of course, and even though they're not playing down here at the minute, but they are standing and have a bunch of spectators watching them stand, which is kind of odd. But anyway, I'll hang around and see if I can get a note or two on there, just like much of the spectators that are standing here. Okay, Stuart says, pipes up everybody. Go. So I think Inverary just again moving some air, but being very careful with the amount of blowing that they're doing today. In such direct sunshine, it's difficult to gauge how much is too much. But there's no mistaking that tone, is there? Alright, well, as they're moving air under the trees, not really playing much as such, but just really moving the air through their instruments. Right, I'm going to continue walking to see who else I can see. See Fife Pulleys there, working away in final tuning. Inverary, Moving Air. I don't know, is that a tune title there, right there? Moving Air? What are you doing? Alright, let's see what else I can catch. There you go. So, who am I joined with? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi there, Rab. Stuart McKenzie here, Pipe Major of Mailto Scottish.
Hi, Stuart. How are you? So, what a day in Glasgow, mate. Sun's shining.
Oh, it's been a fantastic week, Rab. We've had, high 20s all week. Practicing away there in the Botanic Gardens in Glasgow, thinking, am I in Singapore or Glasgow? And so it's a very good problem to have, and we're not complaining at all. So it's made for an enjoyable trip too.
That's it. And here, a hell of a celebration for the band as well. 100 years. How have you found the celebrations this year?
Look, it's been great. Yeah, I mean, we put a lot of work into, doing something special for our centenary. It's worth celebrating. So we had a really good concert, well supported, and just great to get the music out to the people. We produced a band book, which was just a great sort of journey through our history, which has been a good thing, and of course the world strip as well.
There you go.
Yeah,
that helps.
So three big things. It's we love coming to Scotland. I mean, we love being part of the scene.
That's fantastic to see you here. Yeah, with watching the documentary that was made last year, or the year before even, sorry, the amount of work and effort it takes to actually just be here on the grass is incredible. But to play at your level as well, that's another step again.
Oh, thanks.
Amazing.
Thanks, Rab. Yeah, I mean, we do put a lot into it. I mean, that is a bit logistical exercise, but we have a very good support base, and I think, as I might have said on the documentary, when you love doing it, you find a way, and we also, we draw on other bands across New Zealand and Australia as well. So you can't, not all Kiwi and Aussie bands obviously can come over, so we rely on their support as well. But yeah, there's a lot of work, but it feels very much worth it when you get here and play on that stage.
Absolutely. So you had the first run this morning, and I had to listen to you in final tune in there. Band were singing.
Oh, thank you, Rab.
How did you find it in there?
Well, I was actually surprisingly relaxed,
Really?
I mean, I guess it comes down to the fact you've been, playing as a band every day for 2 weeks, and I was really impressed with the team. They kept the composure, and I was happy enough for the first run. It was clean. I didn't hear any slips from where I was. The tone held pretty well.
Yeah,
but hey, it's a tough old event, I think.
It is,
because it's so tight. The grade 1 bands don't. They can all play a very good 4-part at MSR.
Yeah, the margins are so small.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
It's a contest of millimetres, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
And so it might just be a little bit of tempo here and there, or one slip, or a little bit of tone. So it's I have no doubt it'll be a very tight contest.
But we are so chuffed to see you here.
Oh, thank
again.
you. Yeah, it's great to be here.
Yeah, congratulations to Perth, by the way. You guys had a really great run at Perth, I thought. So I don't know. Seeing the Kiwis and that, we had a few little videos and stuff, and people playing. It was just fantastic to see people preparing, I guess, for this weekend. So, what does the future hold for yourself then?
Oh, look, I love doing this. I mean, I guess my motivation has changed a little bit over the years. I love helping the young guys come through. I enjoyed that sort of mentor sort of role. Yeah. I've got my son learning pipes.
Oh, really?
So he's got good wee fingers, and I'm not totally sure about the father-son dynamic teaching though. As it's
I see, yeah.
But so he's into it, and so I'm helping with, and he's playing in the Mailto Youth Band, which is going great guns. So I love that whole part of it. But I can't see myself stopping, to be honest. I mean, I'm
still plenty of playing left.
10:50, yeah. And look, as long as I enjoy it, and I do, I really do. I enjoy it for lots of reasons: the camaraderie, the musical standard, and it's good fun.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you every success, and
thank
you so much. And here's for another 100 years. The band will keep going, and we won't be here.
Cheers, Rab.
Thanks for
bringing.
Okay, so from catching a wee chat under the trees, I'll have a little walk across, and I can hear Inverary Drum Corps are warming up right next to their pipers. So let's get a little cheeky listen to what the drum corps are doing. Oh, just so happened the pipers joined them. That was good timing. There you go. Now, I'm going to pass a compliment here, as I do often whenever I do these walk-arounds, but Stephen McWhirter is wearing quite a fetching sun hat today. It's like fluorescent yellow with like little smiley faces. It's amazing. But hey, come on. Did that not sound amazing? Oh my word. Alright, well, do you know what? Right beside them, St. Lawrence O'Toole. Let's get a listen to them. There you go. And Alan told the guys, turn away from the sun, get out of the sun, get out of the sun. Yeah, I think the sound is there, isn't it? Again, Inverary, right behind me. I tell you, Stephen really suits that sun hat. So yeah, believe it or not, the bands are practicing so close together. I'm surprised they're able to hear each other think. But yeah, very close together there. You're talking maybe 2 or 3 people distance-wise between Inverary and St. Lawrence. Oh, who have I got here? It's Simon Fraser University. Let's get a listen to what they're up to. Okay, I very nearly swore there. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I don't often get stuck for words, but what the heck was that? Whoa. Okay. I've had Inverary, St. Lawrence O'Toole, Simon Fraser. What a sound! Whoa, I think it was Scott Cunningham who talked about it on our World's Prediction podcast, about how it's difficult to bring that sound across the Atlantic, but bands are certainly accomplishing that. Wow, listening to that, my word. Whew. Okay, and of course, if you were at Rab Show Live at Pipe and Knife, you would have seen a little mini band from Simon Fraser, and dang did they thump a tune. Fantastic. Alright, let's see who else we can hear. Alright, Field Marshal Montgomery finished doing their thing, and last band on for the MSRs this morning is Ravara, and yeah, listening to them outside actually had a really great sound, so yeah, have a good run in there, Ravara. This is them making, well, they're being newly upgraded, isn't it? It's just quite a challenging thing to do, to step in that circle for the big yin for the first time in the big grade, so yeah, best wishes to Ravara. They've been really singing a song this year, I think. Yeah, good luck. Alright, I can already hear bands who are preparing for their medley performances this afternoon, so I will now take a little break at this point. And is this time for a big cup of tea and the topic of the week? Oh, there's Ravara. I'm too far away, I can't really hear them. Ah well, we'll try it. Okay, I will take myself a little break. It's time for a big cup of tea. It's time for the topic of the week, I guess.
Kingdom Thistle Pipe Band Supplies, for all your pipe band and marching band needs. Supplying everything from uniforms and instruments to custom designed bass drum heads. They offer it all. Not forgetting their exclusive Kingdom Gilly Brogues and George Boots, crafted by bands for bands. Kingdom Thistle provides expert product advice and an industry-leading drum refurbishment service to keep your equipment in top-class condition. Also shipping worldwide. So stop by their store in Fife or visit them online at kingdomthistle.com for all your pipe band and marching needs.
Do you wish piping could be fun again? Bagpipers around the world continue to struggle with their instrument, despite hours of hard work trying to get better. Bagpiping should be fulfilling. Your hard work should pay off, showing improvement and the freedom to express yourself musically. Or why do it? The Dojo University believe every piper should be able to free themselves from musical frustration, proven over more than a decade of successful teaching and accessible anywhere with an internet connection. The Dojo is unlike any other bagpipe learning experience in the world. Let the Dojo channel your enthusiasm into a fun and fulfilling program that will empower you with the knowledge to fall in love with piping all over again. So go to dojouniversity.com/Big Rab and take advantage of our 30-day free trial of Dojo Premium membership. Join the global community of students today and rediscover the fun of bagpiping. dojouniversity.com/Big Rab for a 30-day free trial. And welcome back. Well, I suppose this entire show is topic of the week. Really, isn't it? So yeah, this is me. We're back again for World's Day 1 and we're walking around the park and you're joining me for my experience while I'm here. I have to say, like, as much as this is my experience, your experience of the World Championships could be much different, and you could spend all day watching Simon Fraser, for example, or put a band name in there and you could stand and watch them all day long if you choose to. But what I choose to do is I love to hang out around final tuning, and I just love to run around here and try and hear as many bands as possible before they hit the circle. Now, I know some people don't like that, and they rather just hear the final product whenever it hits the circle, and obviously that's the stuff that we play on the radio, isn't it? You know, the actual performances in front of the clipboards, that's what it's all about. But for me, I mentioned it before, I love hanging out where the action is, and I think I'll head in here now. So under the trees, the cycle begins again. Rivara have literally just finished their MSR performance, and yeah, from what I've heard from the cheer that went up, it went pretty well. So well done to Rivara. Cracking good stuff. Alright, let's get back in under the trees again to see as the bands are preparing now for their medley selection this afternoon. If anything, this is quite an early day for our Grade 1 bands, and by about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 p.m. or something, we'll be pretty much finished at that point. So, who do I have in front of me? Oh, this is Manawatu. Their drum corps are already in final tuning, having a little bit of a warm-up. Let's get a listen. Sounding good. Very sharp playing there. Full credit to the drum corps there. Wow. Their pipers were just sort of filing in around them, not doing much in the way of tuning. But then again, on a day like today, you don't need to do much. Alright, who have I got round me now? It's the same bands as before this morning. We have Scottish Power. There we go. Again, Moving Air. Yeah, and then I have Shots down the hill. They haven't played anything yet, but they will. Same for Fife as well. Just standing around, gathering together, I guess, preparing and getting ready. Oh, that's Scottish Power. Let's have a little walk back. I did leave them there, but I'm walking back. I want to have a listen to them. After this morning, they're sounding really well. Go. Scottish Power having a wee warm up, and one thing I've noticed with Scottish Power, they have the tinfoil thingies back again on their stocks. Yeah, the tinfoil wraps are back again for Scottish Power, and hey, it seems to be helping, and especially in this direct sun. The Shots are just having a little blow here, so let's see if we can get a tune on the air from Shots. do you know something? Full disclosure, I took myself a little break, alright? I went and visited the Portaloos. And the Portaloo review on the Big Rab Show pod, this is the first one of the weekend. Really quite nice, actually. Very clean, well appointed. And that's what you want for a Portaloo. But yeah, taking a little break from the Grade 1 action, I come up onto the hill and I can actually see Surla in District. Have actually grabbed themselves a bit of a spot for a practice today. And that's one of the kind of interesting elements of the Friday of the World Championships. As much as the action is happening all in Grade 1, and we're going to welcome our junior bands later on, the novice grades, well, it's a good opportunity as well for all of the other bands competing in the other grades to have a bit of a run here in the green. Get a bit of a lay of the land, so to speak, and get the feel of the place. And yeah, Surland District are one of those bands that's had quite a successful season this year, and they're deciding to have a bit of a run here on the park. So instead of seeing the sights of Glasgow on the Friday and relaxing, they're here working. So just, yeah, doing some last wee minute bits of tuning and stuff. But I can see their drummers just over the hill here, so I'm going to see if I can get a quick note or two from their drum corps. Their pipers not blowing too much here. Again, very sunny. Let's see if I can get a note from their drum corps here, shall we? There you are, Surla and District Drum Corps just having a little warm up in the sunshine here. Piper's not doing a great pile again because it's so sunny. But yeah, Surla are a band, I'm sure that's the first one I've seen of the lower grade bands having a little bit of a practice. But Surla definitely sounding really strong there. Drum Corps flying at the moment with Surla. So many great young talented drummers there. Brilliant to see. Alright, now I've had my Portaloo break and I've had a little listen to Surla. Let's see who else I can get here for some more Grade 1 action on the podcast. Let's get down the hill and see who else I can catch. Alright, so a little bit further down the hill there's People's Ford, Boghorn and Bathgate, whose drum corps I don't think they've took a break. I think they're still going from when we heard them earlier. Oh, Simon Fraser are still having a go. Let's try and get a tune from them again. And pipes down, yeah, and again facing away from the sun. Yeah, I'm finding that's happening a lot. Bands will have a little quick blow, a little set of the chanter. Other than that, not a huge amount of blowing happening. Bog-hole drummers are singing, man. Oh, no messing there. That's special. Wow. Okay, Karen McCullen and the guys there putting the work in, actually, getting the hands moving. I can see going on to the line now, actually, the 78th Fraser Highlanders. So I didn't actually get a tune from them here at this early point, so apologies. There you go. And there's Sonority Tool the way on to final tuning. And I can see Ravara are here actually warming up. Let's see if I can get a tune or two from Ravara. Well, I don't know, there seems to be quite a common theme of today. I come down here to listen to Ravara, and they're all just standing about, having a chat, having a crack, as you do. No tunes being played, just having a laugh. Oh, hey, hold on, we're making shape now. Yes, Sam's just called them, pipes up. Alright, let's see if we can get a tune now from Ravara. There we have it, a wee tune from Ravara. Now, yeah, they were doing a lot of drone tuning there, so you might have heard ones dipping in and out, fixing little things, so that's what you hear when the drones are going, ah. There we go. Right, in under the trees now go People's Ford, Boghall and Basket, who are heading into the final tuning area right now, so yeah, it's all go for them. So unfortunately I didn't catch a full tune with them up on the hill, but yeah, SFU having a little blow in the sunshine, sounding really good. Drum corps too was singing actually. Managed to catch a little video of them, and yeah, that's one thing I was going to say. As much as we're making a podcast here, we're also running around filming things. So yeah, you might think the Rab Show team are bored on the day of the Worlds, but absolutely not. If anything, we're flat out today. We have team members all across the park that are filming pretty much everything that moves. So yeah, we have all of that up, of course, on our YouTube channel. If not already, possibly in the next coming days or weeks. Yeah. Alright. Let me see. People's Ford's in the final tuning. Let's see if I can get a cheeky note or two from them in the final tuning area. Get through the crowd. you go. We get a little note or two. It's difficult to do though, because quite a big crowd. So I was being cheeky there and just holding a microphone above some guy's head. So you might have heard his conversation. Because he was talking away to his mate. Now, if you did hear his conversation and there was some expletives in there, I'm going to have to bleep those out. Yeah, I have to remember to do that in the edit now, Rab. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, shout out to People's Forward, actually. And again, do you know what I'm noticing? Is the amount of calm that there is with a lot of these Grade 1 big guns. There's none of this frantic of like grabbing chanters and pulling them out of the stocks and like last minute reed manipulation and things like that. There's none of that. You know, there's just little tweaks in the drones here and there, and if a chanter is starting to wander, then give it some time, it might come back. It's all so chilled out, you know. But honestly, I think we mentioned it earlier in the podcast that the action is in the final tuning. You know, whenever you're watching the live stream at home, you miss all this. And yeah, I'm bringing you a bit of a flavour of it here on the podcast. Yeah, Boghall seemed very relaxed there. Not much in the way of anything frantic. There you go. So here we have St. Lawrence Tool are in the circle right now. I'm walking up towards the cheap seats. Now, to give you an idea, you're talking at least, 40 people deep? Can you hear St. Lawrence Tool from the cheap seats? If I turn the volume up on my recorder, you might. Let me see if you can hear this. Not really. Yeah, all I hear is people talking and a little whisper of pipes in the background. How you doing? So yeah, I don't know. For those of you who do intend on attending the World Championships and standing here in the cheap seats, good luck to you. It's very difficult to hear out here. Alright, I think I should dander on a little bit further and see who else I can capture on this day. St. Lawrence O'Toole have finished their first run of the day. Yeah, I don't know, like the seats up here are packed. And off they march. Yeah, that was one thing we mentioned on our live stream that we done this morning, is that they have widened the band exit. Now this has been, I don't know, sort of a common complaint over recent years. When Grade 1 bands exit the arena, they normally had to do so through quite a tight space, and they could only really walk through it 2 people at a time. And when you consider the size of some of these bands, that takes a while. And of course you have Jackie Baird and the film crew all standing there waiting to talk to you on the other end, which can be a very difficult challenge when you're trying to squeeze through a tiny entrance. So yeah, they've widened it and bands are now able to actually march out, which is brilliant. So yeah, as they're marching out of the arena now, and yeah, they get accosted by TV crews and a possible podcaster as well looking at the conversation. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that guy, you know. After you've just finished playing, the last person you want to talk to is this big idiot. But yeah, it's just interesting to see how they've tweaked little things and changed things year on year, and that's definitely one of them. The design of the stands and that certainly seems to have been improved, although they're open to the elements. How you doing? How you going? Well, how did you find that? Did you have a good run?
Yeah.
It sounded really good up there.
Good,
yeah.
Felt good. A lot of work on and
that's it. And playing in this sunshine, how did you find that
absolutely
too?
Love it.
It was blinding though.
Don't care. There's no water going down my drones.
That's it too. They don't have that problem. Yeah.
No, it's
But
lovely.
yeah, massive crowd here, mate. Yeah.
It's the first time since COVID I that I've seen the stand full again.
It is. Yeah,
So
that's
it's great.
packed there.
It's great.
But that's run number 1 done. Medley this afternoon,
Yeah.
and another 2 to go tomorrow.
Yeah. Easy.
There you go. Easy peasy, says you. Yeah. Thanks a
Take it
million.
easy.
Good luck to you.
Yeah.
All the best. There you go. Hi, Paul. How you going?
Yeah.
That's number 1 down for today, mate.
Huh?
Number 1 down for today.
One down, one gone.
One down.
Yeah. So
One more to go.
Yeah, one more to go. So
How did you find that in there?
excellent. I love it.
Really?
That's what we do for now.
That's it. I'm just chatting to you.
Everyone
says it's good.
If you watch me on the big screen, you see me smiling.
There you go. But I was mentioning it earlier, like you're walking right into the sunshine here, like it's hitting you right in the face.
It's great though, you know. We play well in the heat, so it's good.
There you go.
And looking forward to now the medley now, and after Donegal last, we'll play that medley. It's an excellent medley. Yeah?
There you are.
Has everything. It's exciting. Has everything you need. Yeah? So
absolutely. Well, have a good run this afternoon.
Yeah,
thanks for catching up. Cheers. There you go. So I was not going to be that guy. I wasn't going to like jump in and start asking questions of the St. Lawrence guys, but hey, a couple of them stopped and said hi. So awesome. There you go. St. Lawrence Tool clearly had a good time in there. Enjoyed it. So it was brilliant to hear that they had fun in there. And you know, that's one element that I think of competition that we all kind of ignore sometimes. You know, when we're in that circle, it's all about perfection and it's all about winning, and sometimes the enjoyment factor does get lost. So it's brilliant to hear there that the St. Lawrence guys had good fun in there. Yeah, although I can't imagine that being fun though, with the amount of cameras and the amount of people. Whew, I would just be a puddle on the floor with nerves. But yeah, I'm so glad to hear they had fun. Yeah, it's the enjoyment factor, very important. Alright, so St. Lawrence have just finished their first run of the day. I think Boghall are just about to hit the line. In fact, yes they are. Let's see if I can catch an introduction from them here, from the cheap seats. You know, it is kind of difficult to hear from this vantage point. Being so far away from the band here in the cheap seats, I do envy the people that are sitting in the stands right now. They're getting a much better view and a better vantage point to hear what's going on, but that sounds quite good there, doesn't it? Yeah, there you go. Well, come on, it's not going to sound bad, is it? It's grade 1, for goodness sake. And it's people sport. My goodness. Yeah. But yeah, that intimidation factor, the amount of cameras, the amount of people watching, it's intense. It's a bit of a cauldron. And yeah, we have seen it over the years where some bands, they do find themselves crumbling a little under the pressure. And yeah, that grade 1 arena, it's not an easy place to be, which is why I'm so happy still. You know, the St. Lawrence guys had fun in there. Love hearing that. Yeah. Alright, well, today is mini MSR, so it's all 4-part tunes, so the MSR performances this morning will be over pretty quickly. And yeah, we'll all have a little lunch break, I guess, which is another weird dynamic of the day where everything stops during the middle of the day. So yeah, we do have a little lunch break, and then we'll be right back with the medley performances in the afternoon. And then, of course, all of our novice bands will be kicking off, so I'm looking forward to that dynamic, seeing how that all runs. Right, do you know what? As Boghall are getting ready to play, things are starting to quieten down now for now. So, I'll be right back with all of the medley performances in the afternoon. Okay, future Rab, if you're listening right now, maybe at this point, cut in a little interesting segment. Before we go to the medleys in the afternoon, here's Field Marshal Montgomery. We're just about to head to the line. Let's see if we can get a march up to the line from FM. There you go. Do you know, sometimes whenever I'm taking recordings from the crowd like that, it's very difficult not to get people's commentary on that. So whoever that was chatting away about Field Marshal's drum corps there, I hope it was complimentary. I didn't really hear it on my headphones. But yeah, like that drum corps is impressive, man. Wally Glenham's has really done some impressive work there with the back line at Field Marshal. And have you noticed the brand new bass drum on Field Marshal? Well, the new bass drum skin on FM. And some people have said, is it a total eclipse? Or is it a new horizon? Ooh, yes, I'm loving the design of the bass drum heads, and a lot of people have likened that to a new dawn. Yes, of course. So, can we get an introduction from FM here on the cheap seats? We got a march up, and they were sounding really well. Can we get an introduction on the hill? Let's see. Sorta. I think I'm too far back. The crowds here are just kind of mad, to be honest. And when you consider, like, listen how quiet the crowd is. Like, I don't know, folks. As much as I'm talking, I'm a good bit away from the band, so I don't mind. But yeah, that's been a topic for discussion for a lot of our recordings of bands over this season, is the amount of conversations were happening. A lot of people were talking about our coverage from Perth and the European Championships, and why quite a number of bands were actually missing from our recordings. Well, number one was the conditions, I guess. It was extremely windy on the day, and the wind certainly did hamper our effort to try and capture a good performance. But another thing that really did hamper us was people talking. We had a full conversation of someone right next to our camera. The band was playing, and someone was talking about buying a new tumble dryer. Yeah, they were talking about speeds of spin dry, and has it got a lint catcher, and all this kind of stuff, and what sort of ventilation do you need for your new tumble dryer? Come on. So, whoever that is out there who bought a brand new tumble dryer, we have all of your conversation on camera, and we can send it to you if you like. I'm not going to name the band, because then that'll narrow it down and someone will know who it was. But yeah, honestly, we have had some quite detailed discussions over the course of this season right next to our cameras during performances. So I don't know. Like, I'm here at the World Championships, and there is literally hundreds. Okay, I'm going to say it, there's thousands of people here. It really isn't that noisy. Well, I'm a good bit away from the band now, so people are free to talk out here, myself included. But yeah, that's been a topic of discussion right there. When the band's playing, please be quiet. Okay, let's see who else I can capture on my travels when I'm out and about. You know, I'm not going to go too far. I'm going to take a little walk forward, see if I can catch the last of the reel here from Field Marshal. I'm going to push my way through. I'll be cheeky. Alright. Crowd obviously loved that, and now all the conversations. Did you hear that? Everyone started talking. They even got a few hellos there. There you go. So as Field Marshal make their way off the circle, how you doing? Just saying hi to people as I'm walking. But yeah, that's Field Marshal done with their MSR run, and we're almost nearing the conclusion of the early morning MSRs, and I can hear bands already getting ready for a medley. So I'll maybe make my way there. So I'm just going to remind you again that if you do have any comments and stuff on these on the ground reports, last year we did get a number of them, and a lot of people wanted more commentary from me and my thoughts and feelings of the event, because last year all I really did was just switch the mic on and record bands, so I hope I've managed to give you a little bit more of a running commentary than previous years. And then there could be those of you out there that are telling me, Rab, shut up, I want to hear the bands. Well, for those of you that are telling me to shut up, I will. Let's get listening to Manawatu then, shall we? Very difficult to actually hear down here sometimes. I don't know how they managed to set sound in the middle of this. It's really quite loud down here. But yeah, even trying to listen to Manawatu there, again, I don't know, 12, 13 people deep there at final tuning. It's difficult to get notes. I think Scottish Power is still having a little blow here in the sunshine. There we go, again, just moving air. Moving air. I think that's a tune title right there. Someone should write that. Okay, further up the hill, away from Scottish Power, Closkelt are warming up again. Let's catch up with what they're doing. Just some drone tuning there, little tweaks and stuff, not much happening. Again, very chilled out. That slow air, isn't that lovely? I'm sorry, Barney, but hearing that with just pipes with no drum accompaniment, it's actually really nice there. Although I have to say the drum corps do certainly add to that slow air. If you haven't heard that medley yet this season, do yourself a favour, go back and listen to it. They've played it many times this season already. It's definitely a great set. So yeah, looking forward to hearing that in the actual circle this year at the Big Game. Alright, another interesting dynamic of this year, as we mentioned earlier, is of course the juvenile section will get a run today at the World Youth Championships. Now, been tons of talk and rumour about how they're actually going to close the day. I will hopefully have that mystery solved for us later on. Will they get their own march past? Will they get their own prize giving? How is it going to work? Or is all of that going to continue on for the final day and yeah, they get to have their prizes given to them in front of their peers? It's going to be an interesting one, that, how they're going to tackle it. They have announced it on the social media actually that they're going to be doing the prize giving and everything at 5:45 on the last day. Yeah, I'm not sure just if we're going to hit that mark or not. I think that might be wishful thinking, but we'll wait and see. Alright, well, yes, I'm waiting for the juvenile bands, of course, this afternoon, but also the medley selections, which will be kicking off very shortly. As I heard there, the bands are warming up and getting ready to hit the circle. Now, another added dynamic. Over the course of me making these on-the-ground reports, I am actually competing at the Worlds. So, yeah, Tullylagan 4B band, we have a practice later today. So I will have to stop podcasting and actually go and blow pipes. Yes, I have my pipes with me, and going to have a tune this afternoon, as I'm sure a lot of other bands as well have plans to have practices here. We heard Surlain District earlier on in the podcast. We're just here for a very short practice. They didn't hang around for long. So yeah, quick couple of tunes and then we're away again. Alright, so yeah, I'll be doing the very same thing myself this afternoon. Alright, let's get my walking shoes on. Bands are preparing down the hill for the medley section. And I think I see a juvenile band on the hill. Who is that? Oh, I will have to walk over there and investigate. I'll be back in a second. Well, up on the hill, and I was trying to find out who this juvenile band was behind me, I bumped into Anna. How you doing, Anna? You well?
Hi, yes, I'm very well, thank you.
Well, it would be fair to say you've travelled quite a bit to get here to the Worlds. How far did you come?
Oh, I came from Austria.
So what's it like being here in the middle of all of this?
It's fabulous. I love it.
There you go. So do you play yourself, or are you a fan of piping? What brings you here?
So I'm actually playing myself. I'm a piper. I've done the HN courses at the National Piping Center, the diploma last year, finished off doing my final performance at the center. And I'm teaching back in Austria.
Oh, so you're now teaching now?
Yes.
Ah, wow. And is there much of a demand for piping in Austria?
It is growing, let's say it that way.
Yeah.
It was small, but it's starting to get back, after COVID that changed, but I've got quite a few students and they're all happy.
There you go, excellent. Well, hey, who knows, we might see a band on the circle now thanks to yourself. Yeah. So, I don't know, have you enjoyed the whole Piping Live Festival and all of that leading up to this?
Oh, it was a great week. So many things to see, lots of music, lots of different kind of pipes.
Yeah.
I'm overblown.
It's quite an overwhelming week, isn't it? There's so much happening. Yeah, and, well, obviously, we are meeting international folks, from myself from Northern Ireland, you from Austria. And we would never meet if it wasn't for bagpipes.
That's true, that's really true.
That's it. So how do you find the music travels then? Do you find yourself, all around the world, you would always meet a piper or a drummer?
Yes, you can hear that. You can hear that sound when the drones are going. That's one kind of a sound, and you always find somebody somewhere.
Absolutely, yeah. We're one big massive piping family. Absolutely. So what does the future hold for yourself then? You got any more playing in the future? More teaching?
Of course. I've got a few plans. Maybe competing in a band in Scotland.
Oh, excellent, yeah. You want to give us a spoiler? Who would you be playing for?
Oh, I can't give you a spoiler, honestly. I'm still searching for the right band for me.
Oh, I see.
One is taking somebody from Austria.
Yeah.
Not local, so I'm still doing research.
There you go. So if anyone wants a player, contact Anna. There you go. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. Well, I don't know, it's been pretty warm today, but how have you found the competition itself? You've been enjoying the bands?
Oh, yes. Really, really nice. They are so brilliant.
Yeah.
That's something I'm looking up to. One day I'm there.
This is another level, these guys. There's something else. So, can I trouble you then for a possible prediction? Who have you got your eye on then for the big one?
Of course, I have to have an eye on Field Marshal.
Go on the FM. There we go. Anna, thanks so much for chatting to me. And hi, every success for the future. Thanks a million.
Thank you.
There you are. That was lovely to catch up with Anna there. And I have still no idea who that juvenile band was I heard. So if you're listening right now and you were in that juvenile band, I did get a listen to you, but I have no idea who you are. Because, yeah, I did take the opportunity to go and visit a burger stall. Yeah, it's that point in the day, isn't it? So, should we do a food review on the podcast? Yeah, that was pretty reasonable. I got myself a little cheeky cheeseburger and a bottle of Iron Brew and yeah, 18 quid. Now, the burger, I can't really say was gourmet by any means, but it was like a burger, you know what I mean? Like nothing special, and 18 quid. So I don't know, if you're wanting to eat here at the park, you might need to remortgage your house. Anyway, but yeah, let's get back into the action here. The medley selections are well underway at this point. I think Manawatu's just finished their run. Who can I see in the final tuning here now? That is Scottish Power, actually. Yeah, so I might have missed a number of bands, actually. See what happens whenever I'm filling my face. Terrible behaviour. Not a professional podcaster by any means. But right, let's get back into the thick of it then, shall we? Let's see who else we can get a listen to. Klaus Kelt are having a tune. Let's get a wee listen to Klaus Kelt. And pipes down. Sounding really well there. Okay, and then just down the hill from Closkelt, we have Police Scotland Fife, of course. Same sort of running order as this morning, yeah. But let's get a listen to Fife. With that, pipe major points towards final tuning and everybody pipes down and the crowd moves. There you go. Yeah, blowing a good sound there. Really impressive. Do you know, there is such a buzz. That was just a little clip of St. Thomas that I've managed to find. Yeah, and another band that I'm really searching for but haven't been able to find all weekend. Johnstone are warming up here on the hill. I found them! Took me forever, mind you. Oh, I see Cullabackie's warming up over there. There you go. But yeah, that's St. Thomas band. Again, the summary I would use for them, tone. I have a big sound coming from St. Thomas. There we go. Alright, Closkelt are down the hill, I believe, having a little tune, and yeah, there's Johnstone's drum corps right next to me. There we go. We'll maybe get a tune from Johnstone here, but I think the pipers are being a bit strategic now. They're not actually doing any playing. Alright, the crowd around Inverary is kind of ridiculous. I am not going to get anywhere near that. And that's on the Friday. What's it not going to be like tomorrow when this place is heaving? Yeah. There you are. A little note on the air from Johnstone. Alright, now I don't know where they were hiding this morning. So I regret not catching them earlier, but hey, I'm glad I managed to catch up with them now. That's brilliant. Sounding so well there. And then of course, they're going to have a change of leadership, of course, at the end of this season, so hey, wish them well there. Alright, the band I haven't heard, well, let's get a listen to the 78th if I can. I'll run across here, see if I can catch them. Whoa. Okay. Why did I not come over and listen to them this morning? I know I was otherwise engaged. I was in the middle of everything else, but alright, that maybe didn't come across in the recording, but dang, the sound that they have. I almost swore there again. Big sound from the 70th. Wow. Okay. Suitably impressed. Let's get another walk around to see who else I can catch. Yeah, that crowd around Inverary, I'm not going to get anywhere near that. Oh, right, okay. Now, okay. I know the power of podcasting, you can hide a lot in the edit, but I've been hanging around here for a good, what time is it now? Oh god, I've been here for a good half hour, just watching the 78. Seriously good. Wow. Okay, that drum corps, absolutely clicking right now with the pipe corps. Now, this is the thing, see, whenever you see bands in person, it's completely different from whenever you hear them in recordings. Now, I've been listening to recordings of the 78 all season, like a good majority of folk here in the UK, but whenever they're actually here on the grass and you see them in person, you get a whole new perspective. Now, granted, I know you're listening to a recording right now, and I'm trying to give you an impression of what it's actually like, but I am really impressed with the sound. And yeah, I'm going to say it, ensemble of the 78. That was just a joy to listen to. Alright, let's get a little walk further up the hill now. Simon Fraser University. Let's get a listen. go. Again, they are having that in the sunshine. It's really quite warm up here. So yeah, fair play to them. Again, blowing a big tone. I don't know. Again, getting punched in the face with sound. That's what's happening in this pod. You might have heard Simon Fraser's drum corps actually have fired up, and the crowd around them is nothing ordinary. Smashing. There you go. The goat, as they call him. Yeah, it's all seeming incredibly relaxed. Like they're all joking and laughing here. I don't know what's going on. All sharing a joke. There you go. Alright, well, I'm hoping you're enjoying a lot of the Grade 1 action on this week's pod, because tomorrow at the World Championships, or next week, and you're probably listening to this, will be a very different story. Of course, the Saturday opens the doors for all of the rest of the remaining grades, and this place can be a little bit packed, although it is packed right now with spectators. But yeah, the focus today is on the Grade 1 action, so that's the majority of what you're listening to right now. Alright, I was looking for Culabaki. They were practicing, but I think they've disappeared on me as I was glued to the 78, so hey, that's my mistake, I guess. It would have been nice to catch up with them, but I'll catch them another time. Alright, let's go further down the hill and see who else I can hear. Oh, it's Sonorous O'Toole just moving some air. There you go, just walk past them. John's Tone are now in the final tune right now. Just listen to that glorious noise. I'm not even going to cut this. I'm just going to keep it running like I've done before here in the pod. Just get to hear the atmosphere. Will I get some notes from Inverary? Absolutely not. It's just way too packed. I think the crowd around Inverary is something ordinary. Alright, let's get in under the trees. There's a big crescendo roll. Stephen McWhirter and those guys working away. Pipers are choosing not to play though. Alright, how you doing? Let's see, who's under the trees here? Ah, we have some nice Tool drum corps. Let's get a listen to them. Yeah, that was one for the drummers. Oh boy. Alright, so the drum corps has, oh jeepers, they've gathered quite a crowd. So I hit record here, and then all of a sudden, a massive crowd formed behind me. Alright. Yeah, do you know something? That's bound to be fun to play in that. Do you know what I mean? Like, to be in that drum corps, to be surrounded with that sound, it's bound to be a fun moment. Oh, someone's driving past me in a four-wheeler. That's random. There you go. Alright, well, St. Lawrence O'Toole, having had their reach in under the trees, are going to join their pipers now. So, I've been told, Taylor, are you like media trained? Was that right?
Media trained?
Yeah, these guys say you give great answers to questions.
I don't know. I get a bit of both. I get a little bit. I don't know.
There you go. Well, yeah, obviously you're now finished playing with Manawatu today for the Friday. How did you find it in there?
I found it quite good. It's like it's my first grade one, like being out with the band.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Clean run for me, which was quite nice, and the whole band was really great.
You were sounding magic outside, you know. It was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
And one thing I commented on earlier in the podcast is that there was no frantic, oh God, we need to tune that. There was none of that. Very relaxed.
Yeah. It's very good.
So obviously making the trip across all those miles, being here in Glasgow, it's really quite special to be here, isn't it?
Definitely very special to be here.
So how much work would you have put in towards the performance then? You know, how much preparation was involved?
Lots of preparation. Like, band, we've been practicing basically like 9 till 4 every day, like when we got to Scotland, so that's quite intense. And Stu obviously wants us to get the best out of all of us, which is obviously really cool. And it's just lots of work because we don't want to come over here for nothing, so we really want to.
Oh, that's it. It's a matter of pushing it that bit. Yeah, absolutely. So now your Friday's done. What's the plans for the rest of today? Just going to enjoy yourself now? Or?
Yeah, I guess watching the bands that like I get to see on YouTube and on like Facebook now I get to see in person. I guess it's kind of very exciting. Just really soaking up everything here.
There you go. And we were actually talking about that recordings don't really do it justice. You know, like hearing these bands in person is a totally different experience, isn't it?
It really is. It's so different. Like the fact that I'm like standing right next to one of these bands, I'm like, oh, it's kind of different.
The likes of your Field Marshalls, your Simon Frasers, your Inverary, you just get punched in the face with sound, don't you?
No, definitely. Definitely, yeah.
That's it. So, obviously now you've had quite a packed week, but whenever the dust settles and that, when are you finally going home?
So, I leave on the Tuesday.
See.
Yes, and I'm actually making a trip to Dublin first.
Oh, really? You're coming across to my part of the world then?
Yeah, I go
Excellent.
to Dublin.
There you go.
Then leaving, I think, on like the 24th or something. Yeah.
There you go. So any other future plans there for more competing this year, or what's in front of you?
Don't really know. Like,
good question.
That's a very, very good question. Like, it'd be awesome to come back. Very, very cool. Hopefully it's on the plans for next year to come back to Worlds. Yeah.
But any more action then in New Zealand? I guess yours, the season and that will be starting off good and proper now in the winter months, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it like, we've got like a competition December, November kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. There you go. You'll be kept busy anyway. Yeah. But thanks so much for chatting with us on the show. And hi, every success. I wish you the best for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, I didn't have to walk too far from under the trees. Let's get a little listen to St. Lawrence O'Toole. Ah, no, come on. St. Lawrence O'Toole, you have no business sounding like that. Wow. Oh boy, right. That was one of those little runs that kind of knocked the air out of you a bit. Right, let's go further up the hill. Wow, St. Lawrence were good there, man. That was something else. Alright. We had a bit of bog hole there, but all pipes down as soon as I came up here. Let's see if I can get a sneaky tune from People's Ford, Bog Hall in Bathgate, Caledonia. See that slow air there, the call to the Gallern. That is one of my favourite slow airs ever. Whenever I first heard that, it was actually on their album Inspired in Belfast. So that is Bog Hall looking back. What a tune. Oh my word. And the crowd. Yeah, again, as soon as I start recording, there seems to be a crowd gathers. How you doing? Yeah, what a sound. Oh my word, that slow air. That, for me, that's goosebumps material right there. Alright, St. Lawrence O'Toole really impressed me earlier, so I'm going to have to get a little listen to them here. I think they're going to do an introduction here, so... Yes, they are. Alright, let's check out an introduction from St. Lawrence O'Toole. There you go. By now, a selection that'll be well familiar to a lot of folk by now, but dang, hearing that in person is something special. I'm just having way too much fun. This is no fair, you know? I'm just getting slapped in the teeth with sound all the time. Oh, it's so much fun. Alright, well, I'm loving it. I hope you guys are too. Oh, and final tuning actually is the 78th. A band I spent a bit of time with earlier. Let's see. Have they continued to carry that sound into final tuning? Okay, I'm gonna answer that question. I'm gonna step away. The answer is yes. Wow, okay. I keep getting hit in the teeth with sound. What's going on? Come on, St. Lawrence O'Toole, People's Ford, and then the 78th are in there thumping big tunes. This is amazing. I'm having so much fun. I believe Simon Fraser's on the hill here somewhere through the middle of this massive crowd. So let me see if I can punch my way through and see if I can get a little bit of a tune on the air from Simon Fraser for you. I know we heard them earlier, but it's always good to get an update, isn't it, throughout the day, how they're progressing. But actually doing more blowing than I thought, some of these bands. You know, it is particularly sunny, quite warm. I didn't think we'd be getting as much here this afternoon, but clearly they're choosing to have a wee tune, so hey, I'm not complaining. Alright, Simon Fraser have an insanely big crowd around them. I'm not going to get near that. Alright, let's have a wee dander over. Who is this? Whoever it is a big crowd. It's Field Marshal. Alright, let's get a bit of a listen to FM. I got a little bit there. Not a great pile, but a little bit. Yeah, the massive crowd around SFU and the Field Marshal, of course, for good reason. Yeah. Right, let's see. I'll maybe hang around a little longer and see if I can get a note or two on the air from FM for you, because I noticed I didn't get any this morning. Alright, let's see what I can get. Alright, I'll be honest, I had to let the dust settle a little bit following Field Marshal. I can't describe to you the feeling that Field Marshal... Alright, I'm not being completely eloquent. I think the word I want to use is class. It is, it's just class. You know, being hit in the face constantly all day with all of this grade 1 tone can be overwhelming, but listening to FM there, St. Lawrence, Simon Fraser, Bog Hall, and I spent quite a bit of time there with the 78th. I don't know, it's such a fun day. Now the day is by no means over, you know, it's only just after lunchtime, and I've noticed a number of the novice juvenile bands starting to filter through. Now a lot of them are kind of mulling around here in the grade 1 final tune-in, trying to catch these bands before they run away, because yeah, grade 1's actually going to finish quite early today, and as a result the park, I'm hoping, will not empty. I'm hoping, yeah. So I'm hoping all of these spectators will hang around and support all of our youngsters in our novice competition. But we'll wait and see. Alright, let's see if I can get some more notes on the air for you before everything wraps up with grade 1. Okay, I'm going to catch a little bit of SFU and final tuning if I can. Got a little bit there, and someone's conversation as well. It's always the challenge, isn't it? Let's see how I'll move, I get a bit quieter maybe. Do you know what I'm noticing? There is a bit of a difference with how some of our grade 1 big guns tackle the final tuning area. I don't know if I spoke about this yet, but there is some bands that go in as a unit and remain so. But I've just seen Simon Fraser there. They've split off into 2 different parties. Pipers in front, and then drummers back off a little, and they warm up on their own in the final tuning area. Now, I don't know if that's a sound thing. Is it easier to tune whenever the drummers aren't thumping behind you? Or is it more a drumming thing that they can get more clarity whenever they have that little bit of distance away? It's an interesting one, that. But yeah, I have seen bands walking in as a total unit. There's one giant band, one orchestra moving together forward and sticking together. But yeah, SFU and others have chose to separate and then only come together at the very last moment. Interesting way, that, isn't it, to tackle it. So yeah, I don't know, that's pipe band tactics right there, and if anyone knowledgeable out there knows the advantages or disadvantages of separating in a final tuning and then rejoining again, yeah, I would love to know why. Anyway, let's move on. Alright, well, as I can just hear behind me, Rivara are warming up, and I think essentially it's between them and Field Marshal and Simon Fraser, who are in final tuning, that'll be closing things off for our grade 1 competition today. Of course, by now, the point of you guys listening to the podcast right now, you'll know exactly who has won what, but right now I am clueless. But I'm gonna give you my impressions of what I heard outside the circle today. Genuinely, the 70th Fraser Highlanders really impressed me sound-wise. Big tone and blowing a real good tune. The drum corps as well, being extremely complimentary of the medley. Just fantastic. Bog Hall, come on. They have no business sounding like that. They were fantastic. Field Marshal Montgomery, of course, they were absolutely on song outside the circle, and the crowds that they drew were very similar to Inverary, where pretty much the whole park was surrounding them at one point. So yeah, Inverary, Field Marshal, 2 of the grade 1 big guns that everyone wanted to see today here on the Friday. St. Lawrence O'Toole, with that drumming, wow, just incredible stuff. And Simon Fraser University spent quite a bit of time with SFU today, and again, just suitably impressed. Bringing that sound across the Atlantic has been kind of the theme today, but yeah, very impressed. Also, shout out to Manawatu, who had the first run this morning and then an early medley today. Yeah, they've got a massive big tune today, and full credit to everyone there involved at Manawatu. I don't know, all of the bands that I have pretty much heard today. Johnstone as well. I don't know why they were hiding on me earlier, but yeah, they had a massive, great run underneath the trees. And yeah, I'm gutted I didn't actually manage to capture it. I thought I pressed the button on my recorder. Turned out I didn't. That's on me. Apologies, Johnstone. I did have a recording of your medley run under the trees, but it's gone because I hit the wrong button. Anyway, but yeah, overall impressions of the Grade 1 competition today. There is not one band that is phoning it in. Everyone here has their game face on. And I'm going to finish with my thoughts on Shots. Shots, after their big concert this year, certainly hit the ground running. Oh my word. Right, oh, there's a sudden hush. Oh, 78th, or no, that's SFU. There you go, a little introduction there. Are we going to get another one on their way to the line? See how quiet the crowd is, man. Like, if I was anywhere else, I'd be hearing about someone's brand new car or new job right now. But at SFU, there you go. Little introduction on the way up to the line. A couple of them does no harm. Yeah, Simon Fraser definitely impressing today. But yeah, my thoughts on Shots. I think for me, they're kind of the band of the moment, aren't they? After that concert, just a huge run today. And I don't know, the sound outside was just amazing. A lot of bands with tactics involved, playing a lot of a tactical game, not overblowing and trying to stay out of the sun. It was an interesting day, and I have no idea what they've done inside that circle. You're probably watching the live stream and that at home and have watched it, and yeah, you're probably know way more than I do right now, because I've been spending most of my time here at Final Tuning. Right, this afternoon I do believe there's quite a number of bands who are going to be having all sorts of practices ahead of tomorrow, and myself included. I'm going to be doing that too. So yeah, I am actually going to go and grab my pipes and head to practice with Tullylagan. There you go. So folks, I'm going to wrap it up here at this point. That's it for all the Grade 1 action. Yeah, and I will be back again next week for another Big Rab Show podcast. Well, I will be bringing you another full on-the-ground report from the World Championships Day 2. Now, Day 2 is going to be a challenging one because we're competing in it. So that's not going to be easy. Especially, we have quite an early draw. Yeah, Tullylagan 4B band are playing at 9:10 in the morning. Oh, there's SFU on. Can't really hear them. But yeah, we have quite an early draw on the Saturday, so I'm hoping that after we play, I'll be able to produce a podcast with a bit of luck. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. So the next time you hear me, it will be on next week's podcast, another on-the-ground report from the Worlds, and yeah, I'll hopefully have competed by that stage and I can tell you all about my experience. Thank you everyone for downloading this week and each and every week. I hope you've enjoyed this journey through the Friday. Yeah, we'll talk all about the World Youth Championships as it wraps up from today, of course, on next week's pod. Yes, it's been an interesting day. Thank you everyone for downloading, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, all the best.
Well, that's it for another Big Rab Show podcast. Thanks so much for downloading this week, and a special thank you to our sponsor, G1 Reeds. Played by bands around the world, they are the champion's choice. Check out g1reeds.com for all of your piping needs. Don't forget to check out thebigrabshow.com to be kept up to date with all of the latest news and views from around the piping world. And also, check us out on Patreon. For $5 a month, you can get your hands on tons of extra piping goodness and be a part of the Patreon faithful. So, until next week, folks, we'll see you right here on the Big Rab Show podcast. All the best.